Welcome to today's video where we'll talk about Marathon, the new extraction shooter that Bungie is currently developing. So first, I want to explain to you what's Marathon, right? So Marathon actually was released in 1994, December to be specific. It was a first-person shooter in the likes of Doom, for example, the old ones, right? They implemented some new stuff, but in general, it was a first-person shooter based on Doom mechanics. So you could walk, right? You had kind of a 3D map. If I'm not wrong, Marathon was like the first one to implement looking up and down too, so that's something different that they made. And yeah, so that was the original Marathon. The story of the first Marathon is interesting, honestly. Basically, you're a security officer in a spaceship. The name of the spaceship is Marathon, and this is like a colony spaceship. You're traveling to a new system of planets. If I'm not wrong, the name is Tall Ceti, right? So in this story, there is an attack, an alien attack to the ship Marathon, right? Which is the same name of the game. And you have to basically defend this ship. The story and objectives are all told to the player using terminals that you find in game. You're going to talk to AIs in these terminals. One of them is named Durando, the other one is Lila, and the other one is Ticho. And these three AIs, basically, they're going to not only tell you the story, but also show you the objectives, right? Your next points of interest. So that's what Marathon was. Its story happens in the year 2794, so it's like long in the future, right? It's not current time, and everything is very technological, similar to the new game, the new Marathon. And there were in total 3 old Marathon games, right? Coming from 94 and to the next years, right? There were a total of 3, and then a long hiatus of many years. And now, 2025, we're gonna get a new Marathon game, right? So that was the old Marathon. That was what Marathon was in the past. But what about the new one? What's Marathon in 2025? What can you expect from the game? And what can we hope for the game as a community? So I separated some topics here that we're going to talk about, and the first one of them is extraction shooter. So extraction shooter is just genre, right? Genre of games, and it's kind of a hardcore, like more to the hardcore side of genres. Basically, one of the most famous one is Tarkov, right? And Tarkov, I don't know if you know it, but it's a very hardcore game to get into. It's not very beginner friendly, right? It's more of a niche game. You have to be interested in the mechanics to actually learn them. There's not gonna be like a video or a tutorial to show you how it works, and you're gonna be punished and you're gonna suffer a lot. I myself always die in Tarkov. I love playing it, but it's kind of a hard game, but I like it, okay? Like, I'm 100% into hard games. So, what is an extraction shooter? Let me explain. An extraction shooter is basically a game where you have your personal stash of items, right? And in this stash, you're going to save everything and keep everything that you find in-game. What is in-game? In-game is basically the map, right? Or the maps. Many extraction shooters, they have different maps, which is very important for the games to not be repetitive, because you're always going to play on the same maps. So you drop to the map and you have like a fixed amount of time, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, to walk through the map, to gather items, loot whatever you can, that's interesting of course, kill players and loot them too, and then you have to extract. Extracting is basically getting to a specific point in the map and escaping alive with the items. And not only that, you can also get some contracts from vendors and traders, and then you can get specific items during the matches to then give to the traders and get better items. Basically, the focus is finding good loot and then extracting, surviving, and also, of course, having the PvP with other players to also get their items, right? So you can have better stuff. Because usually people, they build better guns, they have better armor, right? So you can kill them and get that for you. And then you extract and you have that in your stash, so you can use it in other runs for harder maps. And basically that's like the genre, right? That's how it works, basically, in extraction shooters. I personally love it. Works like very well for me, especially for the high stakes moments, you know, that like you're kitted out, you have a lot of items with you, you have like a cool backpack, cool armor, a good headset, because you can have headsets in Tarkov, for example. You have like a good helmet, and then your gun is absolutely modded, you know. You have different sights, you have like laser sight and a flashlight and a different suppressor. So basically these are the peaks of the tension, you know, because you get that very good item, that very good loot that you want to keep with you, you want to save it, so you gotta rush to extraction extraction, but then if you make too much noise, people are going to listen to you, and then they're gonna come after you, and then you're gonna have to fight. And the fights in these games, they are very like dangerous, because if they hit you like in the head, you're dead. That's it, you're dead, you know, especially for Tarkov. Like if they get you in the head, like bye-bye, you know, there's a high chance that you're gonna die. So yeah, that's why extraction shooter is such like, you know, a high risk, high reward type of game, and it makes me pumped. It gets me pumped, absolutely. Okay, so I just talked about Tarkov, basically, and what the extraction shooter is in general. Now I'm gonna talk about Marathon. So what's extraction for Marathon? What type of extraction mechanics did they put in Marathon? So I'm gonna talk about that right now. First of all, they started using mechanics like looting. Looting is very important. Extracting, right? And keeping your items, having a stash, basically. So Marathon right now, it's kind of a tuned down version of extraction shooters. It's going to be available for consoles too, and usually consoles don't have extraction shooters, so it's something kind of different, and it's a positive, right? Because extraction shooters, they need more people. Usually, my opinion at least, I think that we have too much hero shooters, you know, too much like competitive shooters, but we need better extraction shooters. Currently in the market, there are only two very well-known extraction shooters, Tarkov and Hunt Showdown. Yeah, Hunt Showdown. So having one more, Marathon, is gonna be like a breath of fresh air. So as I was saying, extraction shooters, there are very good points about the genre, right? And I think that Marathon bringing some of these points is absolutely important, because it's not only going to show more people what extraction shooter is, but it's also going to make Marathon something different. And we need something different in today's industry, because everything is like bland and it's the same. So Marathon is going to bring something different to the table. So what are the positive points of Marathon, right? So positive points of Marathon: casual and beginner friendly, basically, because it's not that extreme, you know, like it's not that hard, it's not that tense, that high stakes as in like Tarkov, that every second you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I have to pay attention, I have to be on the lookout, you know. Marathon is gonna be like more beginner friendly, so it's not that hard to get in the genre, which is good, which is something nice. I personally don't like casuals, like casual games, you know, but I do like a game that shows how to play it, you know, because then you can get into it and then you can start liking it and stop being a casual, you know. Just kidding. I have nothing against casuals, you know. I just am not a casual myself. And as I was saying, of the positive points of Marathon as an extraction shooter, right? So the entry level is a little bit lower, as I told you guys. It can also keep some of the extraction shooter mechanics, which is also very good, because then we can have that fun, we can have that stakes, but not losing like quality of life, for example, which is something Tarkov doesn't have a lot, you know. So this way you can have like the best of both worlds, you know what I mean? So what are my points of interest about this game? Like, what am I looking for when I think about Marathon, and what do I think you should look for too? Extraction shooters in general, they are customization heavy games. So basically you can have a lot of custom, not only in your armor, but also like in the way that your character is. For example, you can put a cap, you can put a helmet, you can put like a mask and all that. You can put like something on your gun, something on your wrist. So basically there is customization, and not only physical, like not only looks, but also customization that also changes your stats on the game, you know. So something that has gameplay purpose, which is very important for me. Imagine you're in the match, you're like looting, and then you find a very powerful, like very resistant armor, and then you think like, oh shit, I gotta extract, I gotta go, I cannot lose this, I cannot die with this. Then you're like, oh, high stakes. You're in a high stakes moment. You gotta go, you gotta run, you got to escape, right? So escape from Tarkov. Anyways, you got to escape. So what makes the game interesting for me are those moments that you are kitted, that you have like the best guns and the best armor and the good helmets, and then you gotta go. And having that customization, having those cool armors that you can put on, that's absolutely vital for the genre, in my opinion, of course. And it's also going to be for Marathon. So that's one of my points of interest in Marathon, right? Having that type of customization. Also, something that I like is having freedom of choice, like freedom of choice in how do I want to play my character, like what skills do I want to have, what abilities do I want to have. And this is also kind of a feedback video, right, about what Marathon is. So I'm really also interested to see that customization, in the game, you know. Customization not only of the looks of the armor, but also of the skills, of the way that I play, you know. So I think that's also very important for the genre, because you need to have that customization in your loadout, in everything, because then you find things in raids that you can also use in game, and that makes it so much better. So I also would like to have bodies instead of gym bags, because you know, I don't know if you guys know, but Apex, when you kill someone, there's like a box, right? I don't like that. I think it's kind of, you know, too battle royale style, and I think that extraction games, they need to have actual bodies. You kill it, you loot it, it's a body, it's that, you know. Okay, and these are my honest points of interest, like in the game. That's what I want to find in it, right? About my expectations for the release. The release of Marathon is going to happen on September 23rd of 2025, so we still got like 5 months to go, but I'm really excited and I have high expectations for this game. I remember when I played Destiny 1, Destiny 2, and also some of the old Halos, right? And it was always that, like, I was always excited, you know? I remember playing Trials on Destiny 1 with my friends and always like hitting them up on Friday, you know, and like playing 4 or 5 hours straight of Trials and playing and dying and sometimes winning, you know. I was not that good, I was younger at the time, and I used to play on Xbox 360, so I wasn't that great, you know, with the controller and all. But I remember having that fun, especially on PvP, because I'm a main, like, I play PvE games, and I love PvE games too, but PvP for me is like the thing, you know. I have 3k hours on CSGO and like 1,000 on Valorant, so I really love PvP. And when I think of Marathon, I think of something that can be extremely great. So my expectations for this game is like a community that is really heard by the developers, you know. I want Bungie to really hear what we got to say and consider what we say, not only hearing it but also considering it, like really taking into account. And I hope they can make money with it, because I want them to make money, because it's a company, right? And companies, they need to make money. But I also hope that they take us into consideration with skins and with the battle pass too. I want to have something that really makes sense to buy, to get, to pay for, you know, because I want to pay it. I want to have a good reason to pay it. That's the point. Like, if I'm gonna pay it, I'm gonna pay for something that makes sense, and that's what I want, honestly. So I really think that Bungie has like a gold mine here, and if they can dig it correctly, they're gonna have a lot of profit from this. And I'm not saying like profit Destiny 2 style, you know, that like 70%, 80% of the community is complaining about it. I'm saying like 10% of people are complaining, but 90% are having like a great time, with quality and with money well spent on the game that makes sense, and with time well spent, time that they're going, like, it's not just spending time, like wasting it, but you're also like investing time in something that really makes sense, like something that's fun to you, something that rewards you with a good time. And that's what I'm looking for when I think about Marathon. Basically, those are my thoughts on the game, and not only my thoughts, but what I think about it and a little bit of the story, right? For those of you that still didn't know the game, the old one and the new one, and for those of you that didn't know what it was an extraction shooter, now you also do know, right? So that was it. I hope you liked it. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye.